I have come to this island to find paradise, rediscover the me I am, reclaim my power, fully devour the life that's been placed in these hands. I shall become translucent, see all the beauty as memories get washed away. I shall stand on a new shore, divinely reborn, to celebrate. Translucent, translucent, revealing a brand new me. Oh, translucent, translucent, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Island to find paradise, rediscover the me I am. Here I reclaim my power, fully devour the life that's been placed in these hands. I can feel it, I can feel it. I shall become translucent, see all the beauty as memories get washed away. I shall stand on a new shore, divinely reborn, to celebrate. Everybody sing it out. Translucent, translucent, revealing a brand new me. Oh, translucent, translucent, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new, it's a brand new. I have come to this island to find paradise, rediscover the me I am. Yes, here I reclaim my power to fully devour the life that's been placed in these hands. I can feel it, I can feel it. I shall become translucent, see all the beauty as memories get washed away. I shall stand on the new shore, divinely reborn, to celebrate. Everybody sing it out. Translucent, translucent, revealing a brand new me. Oh, translucent, translucent, it's a brand new day. 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 Translucent, translucent, revealing a brand new me. Oh, translucent, translucent, it's a brand new day. 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 I'm gonna play. I'm gonna dance my brand new. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna dance my brand new. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna dance my brand new. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna dance my brand new.
It lasts forever, doesn't it? Good morning, Unity of Payson. Good morning to those of you who are here in person and those of you joining us online as well. I'm grateful that you're here. I just like it that it's a little cooler here in Payson than it was. So we're going to be grateful for that. This morning as we gather, will you take just a moment to be quiet and to be here with me in the presence of all that is as we pray. God of all goodness, we are grateful, yes, grateful for everything that blesses our lives, grateful for the challenges that we see that turn into blessings in the long run. Grateful for the newness of each day and grateful for the opportunity for us to be renewed for us to remember who we truly are and be renewed so that we, spiritual beings having a great physical experience here, can see that with a sense of vitality and adventure. We're grateful that that's possible for us as we choose to make it so. Again, I am grateful for each who have joined us this morning. And I am grateful for the evidence of God in this world as manifested by us in this small community, small family here this morning, and reaching out to those who are joining us online, because the family doesn't have geographical limitations. It's a brand new day, and so it is. So we're going to have an opening song. If you're here in person, I invite you to stand if you're able and want to do so. Swing Wide the Doors, Daniel Namod, and that'll get us going.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now.
Good morning, my name is Donna. I am your hostess, the ghostess with the mostest. No, I saw Beetlejuice recently. We were talking about it because we're doing a skit for October Spirit Share. I can't wait to tell you all about that. All right, so it's time for our welcome and connection time and blessing. Welcome to Unity of Payson. We're glad you're with us this morning. I'm a little bit out of breath. If you're with us virtually today, you may tell us where you're joining us from in the chat. We want to recognize those who are new to Unity of Payson. If you're here for the first or second time, either in person or virtually, please raise your hand so we may recognize you. Welcome, welcome. We have a Monday e-newsletter that comes out. If you'd like to be informed of our weekly activities and get that, please leave us your email. There is a little welcome card on a clipboard on the back table if you'd like to fill that out before you leave. It just asks for your email if you want that newsletter. And there's a couple of questions about your experience today, what it was like. Did we overwhelm you or did we not give you enough love? We want to know. We want to find that balance. So let's see what else. You can also go to unityofpayson.org to check our activities and leave us a message. Again, we warmly welcome you, and from our Unity of Payson family, we say together, we love you, we appreciate you, we welcome you, and we bless the Christ you are. Amen. Nice. Ooh, I get the goosebumps with that one. All right, and it's time for our gratitudes. Before COVID, we were meeting on Easy Street at where St. Paul's used to be. And it was a pretty big place, and there were a lot of people. And I'm not really sure why I'm talking about, we stopped doing gratitudes because there was too many people raising their hands saying what they're grateful for, and it took up a lot of time. So now we started again because we're smaller. So I just wanted you to know that, the history of that. We're grateful for those who support Unity of Payson with your time, your talent, and your treasure. We're grateful for the events of last week and the technology that allows us to meet in a hybrid fashion. If you have a gratitude you'd like to share, please raise your hand to be recognized. And let me see, I see some in the chat. Oh, they were having noise interference. Okay. Can you help with that?
Already did.
Oh, good. So that's an old piece of chat, right? An old news. Okay. You shouldn't be getting noise interference now. And back to gratitudes. Does anybody have, if you, Tom has a red mic, put it up to your nose, like Rudolph, in order for us to hear you. If you put it up to your, like that.
Well, I've got a two-part. First of all, I want to be so grateful. My son got married this last weekend in California. It was beautiful. A little selfish note, I felt really, really pretty in the dress I wore, which doesn't always happen. And secondly, on Friday, we put in an offer on a property in Pine, which will hopefully go through. It's been accepted, but there's other steps. And we may not be here full time, but a heck of a lot more often, which will be wonderful for us. And we're really grateful to have found this property at a reasonable price and giving him something to do for the next year and a half. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anybody else have a gratitude they'd like to share this morning? Rev Neal. Put the mic to your nose. Rudolph.
I am grateful for surprise abundance, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But, you know, sometimes we miss out on the consciousness of abundance and prosperity because we just don't notice the little things. The little things like something that came to us that we didn't expect. That's surprise abundance. So we're going to start a program today, now through the end of the year, Surprise Abundance. And I'll talk more about it, but I'm grateful that in the very first week, I was able to experience that, and it was enervating, a little exciting. Who else?
No more Rudolph. Okay. All right. So let us move on. Next slide, please. Unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer. We have trained prayer chaplains here. Please raise your hand if you are a prayer chaplain. My hand is up because I am one also. We have 3 of us here today. And if you have a prayer need or a prayer request, just tap one of us on the shoulder after the service and we'll go to a quiet place where we can talk about it and be with you in prayer. Also, you could, if you're online, you could email your request to the address on this screen there, neal.uniapayson@gmail.com. That gets given to the prayer chaplains, the prayer chaplain team, and we pray with you for 30 days. And then we send your request on to Silent Unity for another 30 days of 24/7 prayer vigil. All prayer requests are held sacred and confidential. If you'd like to be contacted by a prayer chaplain, please leave your contact information with your request. There's also a box on the greeter table in the back by Charlotte, and there are prayer request forms if you'd rather just put one privately into the prayer box. Unity of Payson's theme for September is Ready, Set, School. And our affirmation, let's say it together. As we navigate our spiritual awakening together, we create and manifest our vision. Today's speaker is Rev Neal Worthington, and the title of his talk is The Rhythm of Renewal. And for our metaphysical moment, I'm going to read from the Daily Word today. Sunday, September 15th. Blessed. Okay, let's take a couple of breaths and settle into our chair. You might want to lower your gaze or close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And let the chair support you. And remember, the ground, the earth supports the chair. All things work together for good in my life. I am blessed. If someone asks me how I'm feeling, I may smile and simply respond, I am blessed. Bet you thought they were going to say fine. I may have bills to pay, a few aches and pains, but I remain aware I am an expression of God. I know wherever I am, whatever I am doing, God can never be further away than my next thought. While I may not believe challenging events are blessings, I will likely feel blessed when I respond from an awareness of God's guiding, loving presence within me. Rather than reacting anxiously, I proceed calmly and with confidence, trusting divine order. Knowing I am blessed, I radiate faith that I pray helps others recognize the blessings in their own lives. The Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Numbers 6:24-26. So on my way here today, I affirmed divine order. I affirmed it for myself, and I affirmed it for all those who are working together to create a beautiful service to inspire and enlighten us here today. So it is. And now it is time for our speaker to share his message with us.
The theme for the month is kind of a funny one, Ready, Set, School. Of course, that's indicative of the time of year it is when students often go back to school. Some began all the way in August. So we're a little bit behind on that. But that's the truth for all of us. There's a point of time when we're kind of sitting, getting ready. There's a point of time when we're right at the line, prepped to just move ahead, and then school, where we learn something new friends, new things to learn about, new ways of doing things. And of course, new information, new learning that comes to us. Sometimes we're learning the same thing that we learned before in a little bit of a different way. It has a different face. So it's renewal as well as just newness. And so that brings us to our topic for today, the rhythm of renewal. Kind of put in that school context for a minute, but we'll explore it a little bit differently. As usual, there's a quiz to start this out. And today, let me know when you know the answer. But today we're going to look for the title of a book. The title of a book. The book was published in 1998. So what? Less than 30 years ago. So it's somewhat appropriate to our time in terms of, the chronology. But it's timeless in many, many ways. The book, in the center of the book is a story. The book has a front part and a back part and a middle part. That's the story that's key to it all. And that story that has had impact on the lives and the careers of many, many people. There are 4 simple characters in the story. Characters whose names are, and somebody may get it now, Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw. Sniff, Scurry, Hem, or Haw. Anybody? If you're online and you know it, put it in the chat. And let us know, Tom, if you see somebody that's got it. Okay, we'll keep going. These characters all lived in a maze. No. Huh? Go ahead. If you've got it, tell us. Exactly right. Carol, you get the prize. Okay, we'll hold off on the prize, but I really you remember who moved the cheese? Anybody remember hearing the title of that book now? Yeah, so that's not unfamiliar. So on to the story a little bit. Sniff and Scurry were mice, and Hem and Haw were little people the size of mice. And they all lived in this maze, and they all had one thing in common: they loved cheese. So in this maze, they one day got up, all of them, put on their jogging shoes and running suits, and went down one corridor after another looking for cheese. And eventually, all of them found it. Sniff kind of, did the sniff test to see if it could find where the cheese was. Scurry was just darting out there. Hem wasn't necessarily very sure where to go, and he went very tentatively. And Haw was very thoughtful and labeled this corridor as one where there was no cheese and this one which had possibilities. So there they are, the 4 of them. they found the cheese. And so every day they would get up from their houses, or their little houses, and they would go down the corridor that they now had memorized, and they would go into Cheese Station C. And Cheese Station C had all kinds of cheese, everything from brie to cheddar to American, all sorts of cheese. Each of these characters got their very favorite cheese. And so it happened time after time. Now, the thing about Sniff and Scurry was when they got there, they took their jogging shoes off and they put them in a string around their neck, ready for the next adventure. Not so with Hem and Haw, who took their shoes off, put them in a corner, put their slippers on, and made themselves very comfortable at Cheese Station C. And so it went until one day when they all got there, having awakened and gotten on their running shoes and jogging suits, and they got there was no cheese left. Who moved my cheese? And thus comes the title of the book. Who moved my cheese? Particularly Hem said this, who moved my cheese? Well, it was a little different for Sniff and Scurry, because very long they quickly took their shoes off their neck, put them on, and began to go sniffing and scurrying to find more cheese, because there had to be another cheese station. And so they went off. Now, Hem and Haw stayed there, and Hem was really set on, I have this cheese. It's my cheese. It ought to be here. Where is my cheese? Who moved my cheese? And won't they bring it back and put it here in Cheese Station C? Well, you know that didn't happen. And Sniff and Scurry, after a lot of dead ends in this maze, finally found Cheese Station K. And there was an abundance of cheese again. And so they took their thin bellies and ate cheese after cheese after cheese, and soon their little rounded bellies, they were happy again. But still, they had those jogging shoes around their neck, waiting for the change that might take them to the next place. It was even better in Cheese Station K than it was in Cheese Station C, so they were excited. Well, Haw was a little bit different than Hem. Kept wondering, shouldn't we maybe go out like Sniff and Scurry did and look for more cheese? But Hem was still there saying, where's my cheese? I'm due this cheese. This is my cheese. Who moved my cheese? Well, the story ends. I won't go. Go get the book and read it. It's a great little story. It's not very long. Eventually, Haw decided that he was going to go look for cheese. So he put on his running shoes and went down one corridor after another, and he had a bit of an epiphany along the way, and he would write on the wall thinking, now maybe Hem is going to come after me, and he's going to find this wisdom that I find, like cheese is always out there. I don't remember what each of those statements were, but read the book. You'll like those little wisdoms from Haw, written on the walls of the maze. It took a long time, and he got very hungry before Hem finally decided, well, maybe my friend Haw had a misadventure. Maybe I ought to go look for him. And maybe, even though my cheese should be here, maybe I had to go look, and there might be some more cheese someplace. Well, we'll leave the story with you there. But it's a great start for this idea of the rhythm of renewal, because it takes these characters, a little bit of each of them, which is in each of us. And we're going to look at that because we're going to look at three things. Number one, we're going to look at the idea of newness and renewal. Then we're going to look at the fact that it really is a process. It's a cycle. And so we have to adapt and to become ready for the cycle and to find the blessing in the cycle. And finally, We're not only going to take a look at renewal and the cycle that's there, but just the whole idea of change, sometimes which we look for, often which we avoid and resist. So here we go. Newness and renewal. You all remember Christmas when you were 5 years old and you just couldn't wait to open those presents under the tree and there was a new toy. How exciting. There's excitement in newness. And so we look often at the exciting parts of that newness. But for us, when we're looking about us, everything seems new. And the room that we're in, the very small room with a very small opening looking out, is comfortable. And so even though newness has great sense of promise to it, we're a little bit intimidated by it. And sometimes we just hold back. Sometimes we resist that change. But we didn't read the wisdom of Rumi. I like this quote. Rumi says, everything about yesterday has gone with yesterday. Today it is needed to say new things. Everything about yesterday has gone with yesterday. Today it's needed to say new things. If you're a student of the Bible at all, you probably remember the phrase, newness of life. Newness brings vitality. It takes that power of life, one of those 12 powers that we talk about often in unity, and it elevates us. When we look at the newness, we see the vitality, the life that's there for us. And this is very true, particularly in our spiritual quest, our spiritual journey. Isaiah on the Hebrew Scriptures 43 says this, I am about to do a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? We're in that little room, that comfort zone with a little porthole looking out, and we don't perceive the new things. Isaiah talks about that in the context of when you pass through the waters, when you are jeopardized by the fire, even in the worst of circumstances, there's a new thing. There's a new thing waiting for you. Don't you perceive it? We can miss that vitality of newness. And then there's renewal. Despite the fact that there's a wisdom that says there's nothing new under the sun, there is renewal because we don't often remember the new and the vital and the life-giving that's there for us. We're transformed, says the Christian Scriptures, by the renewing of our mind. That's transformation. That's what opens the door to a big world. Thomas Merton was a contemplative Catholic. Has a lot of wisdom. 7-Story Mountain, if anybody's looking for another book. Here's what he had to say. There is within us an instinct for newness, for renewal, for a liberation of creative power. We seek to awaken in ourselves a force which really changes our lives from within. And yet the same instinct tells us that this change is a recovery of that which is deepest, most original, and most personal in ourselves. To be born again is not to become somebody else, but to become ourselves. And that's what it is. As we look at this rhythm of renewal, we're looking not back to have something that we feel we lost, but we're looking ahead with new eyes and new perception to renewal, a transformation in our life that is so life-giving. I have an example that I think of often in my own life. I grew up the son of a Baptist minister, and very early I was memorizing scripture verses. Many scripture verses. When I was in high school, I was on a quiz team, and I would memorize full chapters of scripture so that I could pop up at the time a question was asked and absolutely quote the scripture that pertained to the question. Didn't know much what it meant, but I knew that I could quote that. But that grew old for me. That lost its meaning for me. I knew there was something more than that. And so in my spiritual journey, I got to a point where I looked underneath those words, which I still remember. This is quite a few years ago, I must tell you. I still remember those scriptures. They just come to me, but I see them in a new light. I look for that metaphysical meaning that transcends the words, that meaning that connects with the spirit that I have within me, that I see in a new light. And many of you have that same experience. So there was a renewal for me of the value of sacred texts. And that renewal was so satisfying and so life-giving. I put together a key spiritual truth for this talk. It says, we enhance our spiritual journey when we engage in renewal. And then we're going ahead now. We navigate the process of our unfoldment, and we lower our resistance to change. Let's go on to navigating the process of unfoldment. We'll talk about the cycle of unfoldment. I like that word, unfoldment. It's as though it's always there. It just hasn't opened up. It's there for us. But it doesn't happen overnight necessarily. It takes time. So, another personal story. When I was a teenager, I lived in an area that was called the Pennsylvania oil fields. They didn't frack back then, but there were Pennsylvania oil fields. And one of the men in my father's church had a lease to pump oil. And I went to work for him, clearing the roadways in that leased property. And I can remember and hear it to this day, the engine that pumped the oil. It was an antique one-cylinder engine, horizontally oriented, and would go thump, 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 just one thing. But there was that force that came with the thump and then the recovery. It's like there was a cycle, even in that one-cylinder engine. So it is with life. There's a reaching out and a return, a cycle that goes on and on. Surely, I couldn't use this one for a quiz. You'd have got it in the first minute. There's a beautiful song, Turn, 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 by the Byrds. Comes right from the Hebrew scriptures and Ecclesiastes, the wisdom literature. And think of this, a time to be born and a time to die. A time to be born and a time to die, the cycle. A time to plant and a time to pluck up. Ram and I were plucking up some old cucumber vines the other day down on the farm. Time for that. That's the cycle. Those cucumber vines went on the compost pile and they'll feed the next crop. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to seek and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. Time to weep, a time to laugh. time to mourn, a time to dance, even a time for war and a time for peace. So our cycle of renewal doesn't go in one smooth, well, I kind of made it in a smooth thing here, but it's jerky, it's bumpy, it's a little ragged, that cycle, but the cycle continues. When that one-cylinder engine that went thump, thump, sometimes it hesitated, and then you got the thump, the next one, and when it really got going, it went thump, thump, thump. And then we, of course, went on to 2-cylinder and 4-cylinder and 8-cylinder and beyond engines, which hummed, literally hummed in that cycle. But think of that one-cycle engine, where there's an irregular cycle. Sometimes we move ahead, sometimes we retreat a little bit to move ahead and go on again. But it's a cycle, it's a process. On our refrigerator, there's a sign that says, trust the process. Trust the process. And so it is with renewal and the rhythm that accompanies that. When we enhance our spiritual journey, or we enhance our spiritual journey, when we navigate the process of unfoldment. C.S. Lewis, I like this image. So listen to this. See if you can picture it in your mind. It may be hard for an egg to turn into a bird. It would be a jolly sight harder for it to learn to fly while remaining an egg. We are like eggs at the present. You cannot go on indefinitely just being just an ordinary, decent egg. You must be hatched or go bad. Be part of that process that brings you to hatching. And I'd like to say that the hatching gets a renewal that makes you more mature, and you move forward in that spiritual journey. Remember the comfort room. We're not going to observe, we're not going to participate in that cycle of renewal if we're still stuck in the comfort room, the small room with the small opening. On Saturday, we do what's called Saturday Soul Boost, 4 o'clock, a virtual meeting, and we discuss these things, and some of you were there. Terry, can you put up that one slide that I've got there? I always do cartoons, and it's fun, it's a conversation. And here's this one thing, because we get to what we're talking about next, and that is change. Whoop, back one. There we go. He did all he could to hold up change, hold back change. And I think we're so many times we're that way. We do everything we can to hold back change. We're just afraid of it. We're resistant to it. And so let's go on and talk about that change. And I want to talk about it in terms of not just you or I as unique individuals, which we are, but talk about us as a community, talk about us as a family, Unity Payson. Many of you know that we're in a transition time. Things are changing for us. We probably will not be here 2 months from today. Things will change. And we can either resist all of the change that goes with that, or we can allow for that. Because that change is part of the rhythm of the renewal that brings vitality into our lives individually and our community as well. Change in the world around us is inevitable. Our response to it is of our choosing. So once again, that key spiritual truth all the way through, talking about all of this. We enhance our spiritual journey when we engage in renewal, navigate the process of our unfoldment, and lower our resistance to change. And now we get to I think it's my favorite time. How do I do that? How do I do that? Well, I've made it ABCs today. How do I do this? Advance. There's the A. Advance. If we're always looking behind us, we're not looking to advance. We're not going to have that cycle of renewal that's life-giving. So advance. Every evening, Donna and I do gratitudes, and one of our gratitudes is we're grateful for in advance for something. We're affirming something that for us is in advance, but it's important to have that mindset that what's out there ahead of us, what's there for us, beckoning us on our spiritual journey, is what's going to allow us to achieve that which really our heart desires. So you got that advance. Be grateful in advance. Have an advance consciousness. And that's your A. Now B. Be aware. Unfoldment is a cycle. Yes, you'll forge ahead sometimes. You'll scurry ahead like scurry. You'll drag like haw. Hem. I get my hems and haws mixed up. Well, you will drag our feet like a hem. It'll be a ragged cycle of unfoldment. But don't let that hold you back. The prize is worth it. You got that? Advance, be aware. And then C, choose change. Choose change. It's not all that scary when you go through it, when you get to the other side. We talk in unity often about everything working together for good, the very nature of the legacy that we have of the divine. It's within us. Choose change, take risks, consider, contemplate all of those things that you know you're doing what is yours to do, but take the risks. You're not going to get to that sense of vitality and growth and moving ahead and in your spiritual journey, moving toward maturity. You got that? Advance. Be aware that it's a cycle and choose change. Back to sniff and scurry, hem and haw. I think I got them all in there this time. What parts of you are similar to that sniff? Are you looking with your spiritual senses for where you're being led, where you're going to be nourished? Are you, like scurry, willing to move out? Willing to try this, to try that, to take a risk? Are you like him, that's dragging your feet? Saying, my cheese was here and it should be here. Who moved my cheese? Or are you like Haw, who says, I'm going about this carefully, but I'm learning some things along the way, and I realize that it's a process. There's some of these characters in each of you to a degree. Know this. Claim that which is calling you. Are you being called right now to pause a little bit and contemplate? Are you being called to move forward? Or perhaps are you resisting the change that's calling to you? Once more, this key spiritual truth. We enhance our spiritual journey when we engage in renewal, navigate the process of unfoldment, and lower our resistance to change. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Neal. Very inspiring. And now it is time to prepare for meditation as we listen to our meditation song, The Face of God by Karen Drucker.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Yes, each one of you is the face of God. I am the face of God. I am and you are an expression of the divine that is resident within us, waiting to be let out. As we go into this time of quiet, just breathe and put aside all of your other thoughts and plans for the day. Be still. The beautiful thing about stillness is you can hear even the slightest sound. Spirit often speaks in whispers. Be still and know. So as we talk about the life-giving nature, started with a pause, with being still, so we can hear that which is calling to us. We can know where we are on that cycle of renewal. Know the next step to take, or the pause that's required before the next step. So in your quiet here this morning, let's take some time to just ask the question. In my spirit journey, what is calling to me? In my spirit journey, what is being whispered into my ear? Take time in the quiet and listen. Did you hear a whisper? Did you get a tug? Did you have an urge? Spirit speaking to you, saying, here's how you express. Here's how you move forward on this cycle so that you can have life abundant. Having heard that call and having felt that urge, don't be afraid. Still in that quiet, let's go back there for a moment. What's the next step? What is the next step for me? And as part of this community and family, what is next for us? How can we be open to it? How can we lower the resistance we might have to change? We are grateful that life is ever available in as full a measure as we can receive it. So we claim it. Life, vitality. living fully, being the divine expressions in this world that we're created to be. With these thoughts in your mind, bring them back to this time and this place. If you had your eyes closed, open them now and be aware of the place you are in this time. And so it is.
Okay, wow. So, unity of Payson is our source of spiritual nourishment and inspiration. In this community, we receive gratefully and give generously. We appreciate your gifts in support of this ministry. These gifts also go out to the larger community. If you're here in person, we have a basket by the door to receive your gift. We encourage you to give any time before or after a service, or even during the service or the classes that you attend here. For those online, please go to unityofpayson.org to donate. The information for giving is on the slides. And Rev Neal is going to say something now.
I've been inspired to seek to have a greater abundance consciousness, awareness of that. And I learned from another Unity minister a program that they were using called Surprise Abundance. How we so often just move beyond something that maybe we didn't expect to come into our lives. Some kind of abundance, not necessarily just money. Abundance of friendship, abundance of health, and we kind of are like him. We're due that. But we don't remember to be graceful. So we're beginning, starting today, a program called Surprise Abundance. There's little envelopes called Surprise Abundance. And I'm going to have Charlotte, while we have the special music, ask Charlotte to pass out the green sheet back there so everybody has one. For those of you who are online, Tom, can we kind of make sure we have a tally of who's online? I'll get this to you by email. The idea is when some unexpected abundance comes to you, share that. Share that with this spiritual family. It happened to me this week. And so I'm going to prime the pump here. I've got spiritual abundance, unexpected, surprise abundance. Take this envelope with you. They're on the table back there. And look for the abundance. Choose a portion of it that you want to give back where you're spiritually fed or spiritually nourished by the family here. And then take the remainder. Say you're going to give 10 or 20 or 50% of what comes in that you didn't expect. Take the rest and live with it fully. Enjoy it. That wonderful abundance, being grateful as you go. So we will now go to our special music. Again, the basket for giving is by the door. I'm going to put it out here in the center so we'll see it. And as you will, we appreciate the gifts that support this community. And then take an envelope with you, read the Surprise Abundance sheet, and I hope you will let me know that you want to be a part of this program, envisioning abundance, particularly for us as a community as we move forward into uncharted territory. So we'll now go to our song, and let's say this affirmation again, which we always say, but with new meaning: freely we give, and freely we receive.
Today is the day I will change my luck. I will fight 3 pennies and they'll be heads up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll remember to see only good, only God happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll be more of myself, love my skin, where I've been, and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am loved by this thing called life.
Brothers and sisters, thank you for your support. And I have a different prayer that I'm going to read today in place of the offering of dedication. It's called Affirmative Prayer for Surprise Abundance. From the infinite source of all good, I recognize the divine abundance that flows through my life. I am one with this divine power, and I open my heart and mind to receive unexpected blessings. I trust that the universe provides for me in wondrous ways, and I am grateful for the surprise abundance that comes my way. I release any doubts or fears and embrace the joy and prosperity that is mine, and so it is. Amen and amen. I'm noticing it's 10 after 11, so I'm going to speed up on the announcements, but I do want to tell you about a few. Please check the unityofpayson.org website for more information. We have a Course in Miracles Tuesday at 3:30 to 5 p.m. with Rev Neal online. If you go to unityofpayson.org and click on the blue Zoom link, that will get you in as long as you have Zoom installed on your device. We have a book study coming up on Zoom. This Thursday it starts, September 19th at 2:30 to 3:30. And it's based on this book, Growing Up in Coda. If you're familiar with any 12-step program, this book study is for you. We take a deeper dive into developing emotional maturity and becoming more fully our authentic selves. We have a prayer chaplain meeting Saturday from 11 to noon. And we have Sunset on the Rim with Tom. There's drumming at 5:30 and sunset is at 6:20 on next Saturday, the 21st. Bring your drums and a folding chair and something to drink and a windbreaker, says Tom. And we have a PS from Neil.
I'm all talked out, so let's move. Let's move to the end of our service. I am grateful for all of you who are here in person and those of you who've joined us on long line. So we will go to our prayer for protection. If you're here, would you stand with us as we do the prayer for protection, and then we will sing the ending song, which is A Song in My Soul by Karen Drucker. A little different for us. Here we go. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. If you'd like to hold somebody's hand or turn and greet somebody while we sing our closing song, let's do that again. Thank you for being here. If you're here in person, we've got goodies and stuff afterwards, and I see there's some hand-holding going on here. So that's good. Here we go. Song in My Soul, Karen Drucker.
There is a song in my soul. It sings I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings I am whole. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings I am whole. 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 I am whole, I am whole, I am whole, I am whole. There is a song in my soul, it sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. There is a song in my soul, it sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. I am healed, 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 I am healed. There is a song in my heart. It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. There is a song in my heart. It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. 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 There's a song in my soul, it sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside, your sweet joy. There is a song in my soul, it sings of my joy. It bubbles up from deep inside, your sweet joy. I am joy, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy. I am joy, I am joy, I am joy, I am joy. There is a song in my soul, it sings I am love, a beaming ray of spirit's light. I am love. There is There's a song in my soul. It sings, I am love, a beaming ray of spirit's light. I am love, 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 I am whole, I am whole, I am healed, I am healed, I am love, I am love, I am joy, I am joy, I am whole, I am whole, I am healed, I am healed, I am love, I am love, I am joy, pure joy, I am peace, I am peace, I am well, all is well, I am well.
Thank you for being with us. If you're online and still here, hang with there for just a minute. I would like to just welcome you. The rest of you enjoy a little fellowship together. And there we go. So I want to just say hello to you, Ed. Ed, our president, the big boss. Anyway, thank you for being here, Ed. And I know you're up where it's a little bit cooler than down here. Frosty, you are ever faithful, and I really appreciate you. And Bobby, and I'll bet John is in the offing. John, did you get that one? Did you get that one before somebody got it here? Well, I'll talk to you later. Anyway, thank you all for being with us, and we'll see you all again soon.